Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our wonderfully curious viewers. Time flies when you're napping. Amazing username, by the way. Thanks for the suggestion, Time Flies. You asked, who decided how long a minute is? And honestly, great question. We say just a minute, like it's no big deal. But who actually sat down and said, yep, a minute? That's 60 seconds. Final answer. Was it a king? A scientist? A time-traveling raccoon? Today, we're unraveling the surprisingly weird and hilarious history behind the humble minute. From ancient civilizations doing funky math to atoms ticking away like microscopic metronomes. So, if you've ever wondered why some minutes drag and others fly, stick around as we break down how time went from cosmic guesswork to atomic precision, right here on Explaining Everything. Let's rewind to ancient times. Imagine you're a Babylonian. You've got a sweet beard, a goat, and zero Wi-Fi. The Babylonians were obsessed with the number 60. Why? Because 60 is ridiculously divisible. You can divide it evenly by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and all the way up to 12. It's the Swiss Army knife of numbers. So they used a base 60 system, also known as sexagesimal, which sounds spicy, but is actually just nerdy math. This system is the reason we have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. Blame the Babylonians, folks. They were out there just casually inventing math, while you're over here struggling to split a bill 3 ways without starting a group therapy session. Okay, so we've got 60 minutes in an hour. Cool. But what exactly is a second? Well, technically, a second is 1/60th of a minute, and a minute is 1/60th of an hour, and an hour is 1/24th of a day, and a day is the amount of time Earth takes to do one full spin, unless you're in a conversation with someone who thinks the Earth is flat, in which case, run. Originally, seconds were just abstract divisions of time. Nobody could measure them accurately. Like, imagine trying to count seconds with a sundial. That's why, for a long time, people didn't care about seconds. They were the middle child of time, ignored and underappreciated. Fast forward to the 14th century. Mechanical clocks arrive, and suddenly, boom, seconds matter. Now you can annoy everyone with your punctuality. These early clocks could tick every second. Well, roughly. They weren't exactly accurate. 1 minute you're on time. Next minute, you're in a different century. But hey, progress! Then, in the 17th century, Dutch physicist Christian Huygens came along and said, "You know what this party needs? Pendulums." He built a clock using a swinging pendulum to keep time accurately. With this, the concept of a second became a bit more legit. Before that, timekeeping was basically astrology, but with less glitter. Okay, but let's go back to the big question. Why 60 seconds in a minute and not 100? I mean, a decimal system sounds way more logical, right? Well, yeah, now it does. But ancient civilizations weren't thinking about your 10th grade math class or your smartwatch. They were thinking in terms of astronomy, lunar calendars, and what number could be chopped into the most pieces for easy calculations. And 60 is the MVP there. Try dividing an hour into 100 parts. That means you get 0.6 minutes per minute. It sounds like the calculator broke. It's kind of like asking why pizza is round, comes in a square box, and is cut into triangles. It's weird, but it works. Don't question it, or you'll ruin pizza. Now here's where it gets philosophical. How long is a minute emotionally? Waiting in line at the DMV. That's at least 17 hours per minute. Cuddling your dog? 5 seconds. Watching an ad before a YouTube video? An eternity, especially when it's that unskippable insurance guy again. Point is, time is weirdly subjective. Einstein even talked about how time can warp based on speed and gravity. He called it relativity. We call it waiting for your crush to text back. So, who decided how long a minute is? You can thank the Babylonians for the 60-part, medieval monks and clockmakers for making minutes practical, and atomic scientists for making seconds freakishly accurate. Basically, it took a village. A very nerdy, time-obsessed village. The truth is, the minute, like many things in life, wasn't so much invented as it was evolved. It went from stargazing Babylonians to swinging pendulums to atoms having dance parties in a lab. And somehow, that turned into me snoozing my alarm 6 times in a row. So the next time you casually say, "just a minute," remember, you're referencing an ancient numerical system dreamt up by Babylonians staring at the stars, refined by medieval monks who had way too much time on their hands, perfected by clockmakers with swinging pendulums, and finally calibrated by scientists using atoms that literally vibrate billions of times per second. All that precision, all that effort, thousands of years of human ingenuity. And yet, you'll probably still be late to brunch, because no matter how we define a minute, scientifically or historically, it somehow still disappears when you're getting dressed, stuck in traffic, or just trying to find your other shoe. If you enjoyed this video, or if you are now realizing how late you are for work, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.